Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from CNN, in particular CNN Politics. Now, this was published on June 18th, written by Jacqueline Howard and Veronica Strakolowski, or whatever her name is. Strakolowski. Whatever, I hacked it, I don't give a shit. Okay, look at the title here. Fauci warns of anti-science bias being a problem in the U.S. It's not an anti-science bias. It's the fact that the actual numbers, the actual facts, don't line up with the supposed experts telling us what needs to be done, what's going to happen, and everything else. And the American people are saying, fuck you. We're not going to listen to you. You've proven yourself full of shit. We're done. And because of that, because the American people are saying, you're full of shit. Your numbers don't line up. Nothing matches up. You've talked out your ass. We're going to go do our own fucking thing now. That's somehow anti-science bias. And the reason why this is in CNN Politics is because they want to portray it like it's the right that's anti-science. When they're looking at the actual numbers and everything that was said, and they're going, nothing came to fruition that you claimed. How about we act a little more reasonable now? And we start living our lives like normal fucking human beings, and we start going back to normal. And that's somehow anti-science bias, because you look at the actual results, the numbers, and they don't jive up with the supposed science. Anyway, let's get into the article here. CNN. The White House Coronavirus Task Force has been out of public view as President Donald Trump has shown an urgency to move past the pandemic, downplay recent surges in COVID cases in some states, and get Americans back to work. Well, first off, we need to move past the pandemic. We need to start getting back to normal. We need to have people going back to work. We need to have people having jobs. We need to have people be able to put food on the fucking table. Support their families. Keep a roof over their head. And you upplay these quote-unquote surges, which a lot of them have to do with the fact of increased fucking testing. These supposed surges, we're testing more people, so the number of infected go up. Oh, that's a surge. You people are ridiculous. But the nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, has been warning Americans about the risk of further spread of the virus. On Wednesday, Fauci, the director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, joined the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services podcast Learning Curve and gave his expertise on the pandemic and the vaccine development process. Yes, because we can't do anything until we have a vaccine and everyone is forcefully vaccinated and you got to be strapped down to a table. Well, my friend put it best, one of my best friends, and I'm going to steal this from him, all right, because it's a good analogy. They try to forcefully vaccinate me. I'm going to be like Arnold, okay, in Total Recall. When they're trying to throw him in the recall machine and program his brain, the second time when he's on Mars, and he's like kicking people and he's ripping the friggin' restraint out and stabbing a guy in the neck. That's how I'm going. I'm going out the way I came in. Kicking, screaming, and covered in someone else's blood. Arms flailing too. But yeah, the way I meant it was arms flailing, kicking and screaming, and covered in someone else's blood. If they try to forcefully vaccinate me, that's what I'm going to do, because it's my body, it's my choice. Women can say my body, my choice, but when it, and murder a fucking unborn child. But if I say I don't want a vaccine, my body, my choice, the idea is I should be strapped down and fucking forcefully fucking injected. I mean, this is ridiculous with this whole thing of, well, we got to worry about the vaccine, and we got to have like no infectious cases be possible before we open shit up. He also defended the stay-at-home orders as having saved millions of lives and drew attention to anti-science bias and the disproportionate impact the virus is having on the black community. Of course, Fauci had to bring in the identity politics, which he should be fired because he's making it about identity politics. He should be shit-canned. It's like, we're all Americans. Shut up about the fucking race shit. Let's treat everyone fucking equally and make sure that everyone has the same exact fucking care, the same exact everything. And this idea of saved millions of lives. Asshole. Fauci said that if we locked down, 2 million people were going to die. I love how, we saved millions of lives. No, those 2 million people. All right, I'm sorry. The 1,850,000 people that didn't die, you can't take credit for them not dying. It doesn't work like that. They were supposed to die regardless of the fucking lockdown. They were supposed to die if we did everything fucking perfectly. 1.5 million to 2 million people. You said that, Fauci. Now you want to take credit for those people not fucking dying because your science, your models, I should say your supposed science, your bullshit computer models didn't fucking reflect reality? Fuck you, dude. You can't take credit for those fucking lives being saved. They weren't at risk in the first place. Holy fucking shit. And this idea of the black community, it disproportionately affects the black community. Do you mean because they tend to live in the inner city and all inner cities are Democrat-run shitholes and they did really shitty work at containing their fucking shit? And you had, like, say, in New York City, you had them saying, come out to the fucking, the Chinese Lunar Festival, the New Year Festival, come out, kiss a fucking Chinaman that just came in from fucking Wuhan, because they did that. Because that's the only reason why blacks were disproportionately affected. It's because they're in Democrat-run shithole fucking cities, the majority of at least. Because that's where all these major infections happen, Democrat-run fucking shitholes. On the anti-science bias in America, Fauci said anti-science bias in the country can be problematic. Oh, you mean when people don't listen to you because the results aren't what you claimed they would be? So because they're denying that that your bullshit is true because it isn't, they're anti-science. Good to know. One of the problems we face in the United States is that, unfortunately, there's a combination of anti-science bias that people are, for reasons that sometimes are, inconceivable and not understandable. They just don't believe the science and they don't believe authority, Fauci said. So what you don't like, Fauci, is people said, fuck you and your authority too. And the fact that they won't listen to you because what you claimed was going to happen did not come to fruition. Which you're trying to claim. What you claimed would come to fruition and didn't is science. It was computer models. These are the same fucking computer models. Like, same type of idea with computer models, like with climate change. Okay, they use these fucking computer models that they can't replicate shit with, that produce these doom and gloom fucking predictions, just like the pandemic. They say, this is what's going to happen. We know with a certainty. And their computer models are complete shit. And when they're proven complete shit, to say, okay, you're talking out your fucking ass, means you're a science denier because you're looking at the actual scientifically collected data and saying you're full of shit. How are you anti-fucking science when you're looking at these scientific results and saying you are full of shit? You're not. But see, they got to push that because if you don't just, bend over and take the fucking cock, okay, and submit, you're anti-science, you're anti-this, you're anti-that. You have to, if you don't bow down to the Black Lives Matter, okay, you're anti-black and you're a fucking racist. You got to take a fucking knee and the cock up the ass. Anything the left pushes, anything the deep state pushes, anything the Democrats push, you got to take a knee and take the cock up the ass. Or you're anti-this, or you're anti-that. And they don't like the fact that people are fucking saying, screw you. We're done to listen, we're done cucking to your authority. You're proving yourself a liar because the results of what happened don't match up with what you claimed. Now fucking deal with it. He can't. I mean, you can, as far as I'm concerned, you look at this shit, Fauci is a deep state fucking stooge. All right? He should be shit canned. When he's playing the identity politics fucking bullshit with the pandemic like he is here with the black community, he is a fucking deep state stooge. I mean, you got to suck the dick of authority here. He doesn't like it that, as a fucking gamma, no one's listening to him anymore. So when they see someone up in the White House, which has an air of authority to it, who's talking about science, that there are some people who just don't believe that. And that's unfortunate because, science is truth, Fauci said. Really, you were pushing the fucking models as fucking factual science that said that 2 million Americans were going to fucking die if we didn't lock shit down. And that was if we did everything perfectly. Some fucking science you're talking about there, shitbrick. He's a fucking scumbag. I mean, you don't see any coverage of the fact that he was funneling millions of dollars millions of taxpayers' dollars to China to do COVID research because here in the U.S. we said it was too fucking dangerous, and it just happened to be to the place that we think it got fucking released from, that the facility it got released from. He gives them millions of dollars to fucking work on shit that this country went, no, there's no medical benefit to. And then we have, that particular disease get loose. No one talks about that with him, though. We're just supposed to cuck and bend to his fucking authority. Some gamma little bitch. Because he tells you 2 million people are going to fucking die and they don't. And because they didn't die, he's now going to take credit for that? Fuck him. Excuse the windows being open. It's really hot here. So if you hear a motorcycle or whatever driving by, I apologize. This is fucking ridiculous. It's amazing. Sometimes the denial there is. It is the same thing that gets people who are anti-vaxxers, who don't want people to get vaccinated, even though the data clearly indicates safety of vaccines, Fauci added. That's a real problem. The safety of vaccines. You go read the medical fucking inserts and they look real fucking safe. Okay, when the polio vaccine can give you the exact same symptoms as polio, but it isn't polio. When the MMR, all right, when Japan has shown that the MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, and rubella together, causes fucking autism, and also has found shit in vaccines that was not cool, so they only domestically produce them now, and they give the measles, the mump, and the rubella vaccine separate, and they haven't had autism spikes. They're not having autism from that. Vaccines are perfectly fucking safe, Fauci. Yeah. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-vax. I just think that because of the vaccine courts and shit like that, manufacturers have gone fast and loose with them, and they just don't give a shit. I mean, now they want you to vaccinate your young child for fucking HPV, okay, when Gardasil or whatever the fuck it's called, okay, only vaccinates you against 4 fucking strains, and they're not even the fucking scary strains of fucking HPV. But they want you to inject your kids with that shit. Instead of just telling your kids, keep your fucking dick in your pants. Or, hey, lock yourself at the knee there, sweetie, because all those boys, all they're going to want to do is just slime their way into your fucking panties. And I really don't want to have a mass gravesite out back where I kill every one of your fucking boyfriends, dig it up and bury them each time they fucking want to go in there. Okay. I don't want that to happen, sweetie. So keep your fucking legs closed. That would stop the prevention of fucking HPV instead of, teaching kids to be promiscuous fucking, fuck anything with, a hole in a fucking heartbeat regardless of fucking gender. Like they do in fucking sex ed classes now. Fuck you with this vaccine safety shit. Just read an insert. Trump has frequently disregarded expert advice and often the guidance of his own administration during the pandemic. He long touted the use of the anti-malarial drug hydroxychloroquine as a treatment for COVID-19 despite a lack of medical evidence, and the Food and Drug Administration revoked its emergency use authorization for the drug earlier this week. Even though, they revoked it because of the deep state fucking bullshit. There's more than enough proof that it does work. You people, the only thing you had to go, it doesn't work and Trump's a liar, is a Brazilian fucking study where they OD'd the fucking people on the shit and gave them more than the recommended fucking dose. Oh, you people are fucking ridiculous. His suggestion that ingesting disinfectant in April was a potential treatment, he later said he was joking, was quickly denounced by medical experts. He didn't say ingesting disinfectant, you lying sacks of shit. You're the ones who created that fucking narrative. He never said that. He said, the inhalation of disinfectants, which they actually do have treatments that are like that. So shut the fuck up and get a fucking clue, you dishonest shitbags. And he has refused to wear face masks in public despite widespread belief that doing so slows the spread of the virus. He's only putting himself at risk. If everyone else is wearing a mask around him, he's the only one at risk. And you know what? He chooses not to wear a mask and you're going to freak out about it because you want the president to push this fucking air of, everyone should just cuck and do what we tell you. Fuck free will. Fuck taking, your own personal safety in your own hands and risk in your own hands. On the vaccine process, the process of getting a United States coronavirus vaccine candidate into phase 1 trial happened at a record speed, according to Fauci. Yeah, it's a little convenient that when it takes 5 years to make on average, to make any vaccine, all of a sudden they pull these vaccines out of their asses. I find that a little fucking suspicious. Fauci credited the Chinese for publishing the sequence on the open database on January 10, and the next day, the U.S. said, we got to jump on this. On January 15, the U.S. began development of a vaccine candidate, Fauci said. Now, I find this funny. Now we got to portray China as they tried to stop the spread. Oh, China did nothing but good. They didn't do nothing wrong. And CNN, of course, is going to be dick riding, the Chinese Communist Party and helping to push that shit. And Fauci here, okay, he's going to do it himself too. Which to me, that's another reason why I look at him as a deep state piece of shit. Instead of calling out China for all the fucking shit they did, like Trump has, okay, that they try to go, well, China didn't do that. If Fauci said it, okay, and it's factually true, which it is, they can't fucking take their golden boy Fauci and hang him out to dry on it. So Fauci should have been out there saying the same shit that China dropped the ball, that China has the World Health Organization riding its dick and everything else. This is ridiculous. 62 days later, we had a product that we put into clinical trials in a phase 1 to see if it's safe and does it induce an immune response. That is overwhelmingly the quickest that has ever been done, Fauci said. Now, this is what's messed up. They don't want you to really know this, but your antibodies disappear with this. They don't last in your system long. So, are you going to keep getting shot with a vaccine to keep your antibodies up? Because they can't artificially create, get your body to trigger the antibodies, artificially, and have them become longer lasting. The antibodies are there. They're going to last as long as they last. So we really can't have a vaccine for this. It's never going to work. But I love this, and doesn't emit an immune response. That is overwhelmingly the quickest that has ever been done, and that should raise red flags. Fauci said there are a number of steps to develop a vaccine, but the reason they were able to do so quickly is we proceeded what's called at risk for finances. Conveniently explaining away how they take something that takes 5 years and do it in less than a year, and do it in months. What happens is in the standard way of developing a vaccine, you don't jump to invest in the next step until you're pretty sure that the step you're in is working, Fauci said. Given the fact that we needed to do this quickly as possible without sacrificing safety or scientific integrity, the federal government partnered with multiple of these companies and said, guess what? We're going to move fast. We're going to assume we're going to be successful. And if we are, we've saved several months. And if we're not, the only thing we've lost is money. But better lose money than lose lives by delaying the vaccine. So right now, the initial data from the study showed that it makes me cautiously optimistic that we can induce a response that would be protective. Yes, but is it going to last for any amount of time? Because our antibodies, if we're infected with COVID, disappear relatively quickly from our system? Not likely. Now we get into the fucking, identity politics, actually being racist fucking shit here. On COVID-19 disproportionately impacting black Americans. Social inequalities are among the factors behind why the black community in the United States has suffered disproportionately from COVID-19, Fauci said. Yeah, because poor white people aren't disproportionately getting it, say, compared to the middle class. Yeah, okay, fuck you, Fauci. African Americans have suffered disproportionately from coronavirus disease. They've suffered in that their rate of infection is higher because of the nature of the economic status that many of them find themselves in, where they're outside working, being unable to physically separate, he said. Bullshit! They're all collecting fucking unemployment. If they all work menial fucking jobs, they're all collecting fucking unemployment because those menial fucking jobs, most of them were fucking, were stopped. You can't have your cake and fucking eat it too. All right? They can't all be fucking working menial fucking jobs, okay, that aren't even, going right now or hadn't been going. Or they're collecting fucking unemployment. You can't have both of it. All right? And if they're working fast food and anything else, those would be the type of jobs that they'd be working that they're disproportionately affected, which would be complete bullshit because they're no different than anyone else working those jobs. You have poor white people working those jobs. You have poor Hispanics. You have poor fucking Middle Eastern people. Shut the fuck up. Fauci needs to fucking go. Playing the identity fucking politics game, Trump should boot him on his fucking ass. See ya. Don't want to be ya. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. And they unable to be physically separate. It's mandated that they have to be separate at their fucking jobs and have social distancing. They work at places like fucking Amazon too, where they get paid good fucking money. Holy shit. And then, when they do get infected, given the social determinants of health, which make it for them, have a higher incidence of disease like hypertension, obesity, diabetes, Fauci said. They have a genetic fucking Okay. They have a fucking weight problem in the black community. Diabetes. Hypertension. Which that's part of diabetes. Obesity. They eat fucking like shit. Hypertension. High blood pressure. And even diabetes to some extent. It's genetic with the black fucking community. Oh, they're disproportionately... Well, they got the fucking bad side of the genetic lottery. I don't know what to fucking tell you. And because they have a higher, because they have high blood pressure and obesity and diabetes, those things that, you shouldn't have with this, they're being it's disproportionate on how they're being affected by it. Bullshit. You have plenty of fat, obese, diabetic, fucking white people, and they're just as affected. This is complete bullshit. Fauci needs to fucking go. Kick him to the fucking curb. Pushing this fucking race-baiting bullshit. Because they're at much higher risk of suffering the deleterious consequences, including death. Yes, well, if you're fat and you get diabetes and hyper-fucking-tension, of course you're going to have a higher risk of dying from flu. Social determinants of health include the conditions in which people are born and live that can impact their health and the complex social structures and economic systems that shape these conditions, including discrimination in access to and quality of health care, among other factors. The federal government said they would fucking pay for these people to be taken in. They're going to get the same fucking care. Shut the fuck up. And they did. On U.S. lockdown measures, Fauci defended the shutdown policies in the United States and around the world during the pandemic as having saved millions of lives. Oh, really? He's going to take credit. They're going to take credit for the millions of people that were supposed to die in the United States not dying, not because of the lockdowns, because the models were complete and fucking shit. Were complete and total shit. They want to take credit for that, okay? They don't want to admit the models were shit. The 2 million they said that died, if everything was perfect, didn't happen. But, we saved those 2 million lives because we locked down. That's the logic of these fucking idiots. Holy shit. You didn't fucking save those lives. You didn't do a fucking thing. Those lives weren't going to die anyway. They were not at risk in the first place. Because your models were complete and total shit. Proven complete and total shit. Oh my God. When you give advice about what you should be doing, should you be out there? Should you be shutting down earlier versus later? I mean, people get confused and they say, wow, we shut down and we caused a great disruption in society. We caused a great economic pain, loss of jobs, Fauci said. Yes. And you tried to say that with doing that, we were going to have 2 million dead in this country, Fauci. Fuck you. Fuck off and die. Sit and spin, okay? I don't know if who's got their dick in your ass, all right? But I hope they've got it rammed in fucking deep, because they have to be tickling your fucking tonsils to be the puppet that you are, pushing that fucking shit and trying to take credit for 2 million lives that weren't even going to die in the first place. Because that's what you got to say when we lock things down, and that was if we did everything perfect, 2 million of Americans were going to die. And they didn't die, and we didn't do everything perfect. Yeah, fuck you, dude. You can't take credit for that. Seriously, Fauci got to go. Fauci got to go bye-bye. But if you look at the data, now that papers have come out literally 2 days ago, the fact that we shut down when we did, and the rest of the world did, has saved hundreds of millions of infections and millions of lives. No, it didn't. Because you said if we locked down, did everything perfectly, 2 million were dying in this country. You now can't say because we locked down and those 2 million didn't die, it was because of the lockdowns. Because you said with the lockdowns and doing everything perfectly, they were going to die. Fuck you, dude. It don't work like that. You people have literally fucking moved the goalpost, and take credit for people who didn't fucking die that you claimed would die. It isn't because your models that you based everything off of were wrong. It was because we listened to you. Fuck you. It don't work like that. That is like Orwellian revisionist fucking newspeak bullshit type of shit. Revisionist history with newspeak. It's that type of bullshit. Give me a break. And yet, there are those who say, you shut down, you did destructive things by disrupting the economy. And others say, well, if you saved so many infections by shutting down, why didn't you just shut down 2 weeks earlier? You could have saved many more lives. I say, fuck you to that last one. You locked shit down, said we were going to lose 2 million people, even though we did it, and we didn't. You got caught in your bullshit that you claimed was science. It was fucking computer fucking models that were fucking shit. Okay? They weren't accurate. They didn't reflect the fucking actual disease spread or anything like that. You got caught with your fucking pants down, and now you want to take credit for supposedly saving millions of lives. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. One study published last week in the journal Nature found that if large-scale shutdown policies such as ordering people to stay home and closing schools were not implemented after the coronavirus pandemic made its way to the United States, there would have been roughly 60 million more coronavirus infections across the nation. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I am not buying that at all. Because they were saying before this, there would have been, locking down. We were going to have, the whole flatten the curve thing, we were going to be competitive like that. With that, we needed to lock down, that we were going to have the hospitals. Even with us locked down, we were going to have the hospitals overrun. There was going to be 2 million fucking dead. All this shit. Everything's been proven wrong. They've all been proven fucking liars. Their models have been proven complete shit. And they're still trying to hold on to this because this is about control. This is about dominating over us. About exploiting this situation. This is shown to be not much worse than the average fucking flu. It just so happens it tends to kill grandma, if she's above the average life expectancy. This is ridiculous. Fauci needs to go bye-bye. He needs to get his ass fucking kicked to the curb. He's playing the fucking race-baiting, fucking identity politics shit. He's trying to take credit for deaths that he claimed were going to happen if we locked down and everything perfectly. And he's trying to claim that because we locked down, those deaths he said that were going to die if we did, regardless, didn't die. He's trying to take credit for it. We got to get rid of this asshole. Kick him to the fucking curb. He isn't looking out for the best interests of this country, the American people. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.